Wouldn't it be the iFly then?
Can you really say rat's ass on TV, or will they have to edit that out? You could say, I was out checking my trap line and there was a rat's ass caught right in the trap. I don't know. They can edit it if they can.
Find out.
I wonder if mudflats.
I think that R word's okay. It's the other R word you can't use.
Right. It's the other. I'm sorry if you're offended because you have a coat made out of rats' asses or something. I wonder if mudflats would have been hurt if UPI had picked her story up rather than AP. But Craig's right about being careful. See the false allegations about Palin's boys, Army enlistments, etc. There were a lot of stories that went out on different blogs. There were a bunch of them I didn't touch. And I know a lot of bloggers that wouldn't touch them with a 10-foot pole, but there were other places that were running them wild. I don't know. What's the difference between having UPI and AP?
Not much. I mean, they're basically two different syndicates. I don't think UPI would have handled it. I don't know. Who knows? There's no telling what they would have done. Reuters might have done it differently. Bloomberg might have done it differently.
There is seemingly an infinite number of opinions on the internet. How do you find a few that you can trust for reporting the important stories?
Read AlaskaDispatch.com.
Christy, how would you answer that? Because I know that you see a lot more blogs than I do. I know what I like, I know what I trust, and I like it when a blogger has everything hyperlinked. Like if they say, this happened in 1982, there's a little thing you can push and you can go back to the original story from a newspaper or another credible source, or you can read state documents here and that. And I try to hyperlink everything I write.
Right.
But that's how I tell. I don't know, is there an easier way?
No, that's great. I think once you do find blogs that you like, you know, if people are coming to your blog, check out your blog roll and see the blogs that you like, and that can expand the world a little bit. And I live in fear of getting too compartmentalized and only reading liberal blogs and sort of shrinking down my sphere of knowledge. And so I try to read all the conservative blogs that I can, and conservative World News Daily or WorldNet Daily, as well as MSNBC, and try and get both sides. And I think doing that can help sort of round out who's telling the truth and who's not, and who's trustworthy.
And I'm more willing to read right-leaning blogs, I think, than they are to read mine.
Oh, yeah.
Facts are confusing. Believe it or not, there are lots of folks who do not have regular access to the internet. How can journalists serve that segment of the population? This is our last question. You want to
direct them to the library where they can get on the internet?
It's where it's at right now. I mean,
I don't know how you can live without it. I mean, I grew up with newspapers. I don't get a newspaper anymore. I'm an information junkie. Having the volume of information at your fingertips you have with the internet, I don't know how people can live without it. It'd be like not having a library when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I think supporting the local library and supporting local radio. You know, local radio is another dinosaur that could go away unless people continue to support it and listen to it. And I think, you know, doing that and saying, I've got a need for you to report local news, even if you're just reading me something from the ADN,
right.
I think is important.
There's also, I mean, mobile internet is a lot of sites. Most sites now are being designed, or the trend in websites is to design it so that it can be read on a smaller and smaller screen, because most people are accessing the internet via mobile devices.
Phone.
Especially if you're someplace with no broadband access, but you have a cell signal.
And there are still newspapers out there. I mean, you can go find them and
that's what I
read
hear.
them. And
all right,
they're
you
a
guys.
good thing to start the fire with.
All right, this is the part where we stop talking because it's the end of the show. Thank you guys so much for being here. This was really fun, and you can join us next Thursday at a taping of More Up North at Bernie's Bungalow. Thanks so much.
Did you have fun?